you have like the emergence of social media. So now it's like a worry of, it's like everybody's worried about like notoriety. And you don't get to learn the same way that you used to because you're trying to avoid embarrassment, right? And so I think like some guys, they get good and they take it for granted like you're going to win. Like you came here thinking somebody came to be a part of your show or something like that, and that's just not how it is. And I think a lot of the times that's what I try to like keep the younger kids away from. Um, I don't know if it's too much that you could say they take for granted other than that because they don't know what happened before 'em. It's not like the same connection to history that it always was. That's like what's different now in the world. So I don't. I think it's more so that than anything. Them just the whole social media thing. It's just the good of it and the bad of it. Thinking you have time. I think that's the thing with life though. I don't even think that's with just boxing. Just thinking you got time. It's like in the neighborhood, people say, "Oh, he's young. He's got time. He's 19. He's young. He's 21. He's young. He's got." No, you don't. You actually a grown ass man already. So that whole idea that you have time, I never really let my son operate like that. Like you got time to figure it out. Like no, you have to figure it out today before you fuck up bad. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just the way I deal with raising my children and raising the kids in the program, period. Like, you don't have all day. You don't have 50 mistakes. It's too much of a cushion. You know what I'm saying? Well, with my son in particular, it's more so about work now, live later. Like we kind of carry that. That's like how I carry it in my house with him, right? You could be the guy that's worried about having fun between 17 and 23, or you could work 17 to 23 and have fun from 30 for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's examples of that around here. You have guys like Danny Garcia. You have guys like J-Rock. You have guys like Scooter, and they've had certain accomplishments and they made certain kinds of money. And he gets to see him. He gets to encounter him. He was in camp with Scooter. So, you realize what people have been able to amass through their skills in boxing and their talent in boxing. And you realize like, no, I got to do my work now because the game I'm in, the profession I'm in, I got to get at this money early. You know what I'm saying? It's not like one of those things where I'm going to be 40 and 50 years old and I will be making those same chunks of money. I have to do the work I have to do early, make those chunks of money, and then make smart decisions with my money so that it could carry me out the rest of my life. And I think because he's like close to some of those examples and he gets to see them firsthand, up close and personal, it helps him with his understanding of it. So it's not as hard to convince him that, to do what you got to do today. It's a difference when you're trying to tell somebody that and they can't see it. That's why you have a lot of problem with, the youth walking up and down the street. It's hard to tell them like, just stay the course. Something like they need a platter right now. They need something to eat right now. They feel like they need shoes right now. You know what I'm saying? But if I could, as far as with my son, I provided the basic life needs. You got what you need. Do what you got to do so that you could be able to have what you want forever. That's more so the mind state. I've studied their story kind of closely. I've read Custom Auto's books and stuff like that. So I kind of understand what was going on with them. You say you have a kid and he's in the placements and stuff like that, and Cuss gets him out. He instilled discipline in Mike before he taught Mike anything. When Cuss went, the discipline went. You know what I'm saying? Other people was able to get in his head, like, you know what I'm saying, because of him looking for certain levels of direction, because of the way that he grew up with just his mom and just being in the hood. So I think it's levels of truth to that sometimes, because you have kids, like I've had kids that didn't really listen to nobody but me like that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like sometimes their mom be having a problem with them. And mom would call me and I'm like, yo, man, what are you doing, man? Sit your ass down somewhere. And they like, all right. You know what I'm saying? But they couldn't. So, I mean, maybe if you take me away and then you can't, you see what I'm saying? Just start going left and people ain't handling things the right way. I think some of these kids, you have to remember, they're rough guys in this sport. A lot of them, you ain't baking cookies. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, because what happens is they become businessmen at some point. But some of them become businessmen early. or they become businessmen fast for whatever reason because they be in a certain type of situation. So now I think they move according to that. I mean, because I guess in the beginning when you was fighting to do better for your family. So I give you $100 million, and now you are doing better for your family. What you gonna do now? You had to wanted to be a champion. It's like I always think, like Floyd, the biggest caper that Floyd pulled on the world was he told the world that it was about money. It couldn't have been about money with him, because he had a certain amount of money and he had to keep, and he kept on going. You wasn't going for money no more. You see what I'm saying? I think a majority of them, 80-90% of them, they are in it for money. I mean, don't get me wrong. You had that dream of being a world champion too. You had several dreams of it, but you are in it for money. So once the money is amassed, you're going to get what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? It's all in what your motives are. I've been in trouble, and I got in trouble because I didn't listen. And it's more so about when you have children, for me, there's no book on it, but it's more so about not letting them go left where you know it's left. You know what I'm saying? If you know what you did wrong, or you know where you messed up, or even you know where your parents messed up with you, you know what I'm saying? And you try to correct that, and I don't shy away from it. I actually go directly into that conversation. So, we talk about like the reasons why I got in trouble. I had good parents. They did a great job, but my parents didn't they were older. I have older parents. They passed away now, but I was a late baby. My father was 47 when he had me, you know what I'm saying, and 50 years old when he had my sister. So he was from a time where they didn't spend a lot of money on clothes. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those guys when I was younger. I wanted clothes and stuff like that, so I got in trouble. So what I do with my son is I say, no, I'm gonna get you some clothes. Don't come in here telling me about no trouble. You ain't got no reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that, and then it's just a lot of him understanding that, you did all of this work. So you've been working since I started them teaching him when he was 6 years old. So he started competing at 9. But I started teaching him how to box 5, 6 years old. So I say, if you've been doing something for 11 years, you put 11 years of your life into the sport of boxing, and you ain't nothing but 17. You put more than half of your life into the sport of boxing. Like, you had to be some type of damn fool, to just go out here and do some dumb, just jeopardize everything that you worked for. Like, forget me, you the one that had to run. You the one that had to hit the bag. So just instilling that in him, just kind of let him on the right path. And now to this point, it's a part of who he is. I don't really have those kind of troubles with my son. I don't have to keep him off no corner. He ain't got no corner to go to. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if anything, that's the one thing I'm proud of, was that I was able to keep him from being that type of guy. I mean, people in the neighborhood know him and stuff like that, but he don't do certain things. Yeah, it's not even about I'm worried about my dad no more. It's this who I am. It started off, I better not do that because my dad gonna hop on my ass. After a while, it becomes who you are. You know what I'm saying? That one has been a blessing, because living and growing up in a city like this. Well, me, I'm a funny case because my father, he taught my brother how to box, and I watched him. He teach me how to box too, but I was good at other stuff. Unlike the rest of my brothers, I was a good basketball player, and I was a very good drummer. So I traveled, I played all over the place, and it was like, for them, with me, it was like, if you could do all of these things, why would you want to box? Boxing has that. Like, a lot of times you'll find coaches or fathers, like for instance, you being here with Rel. You see how Rel treat Fat Boy and them? He didn't treat Sheem that way. He was on him, because Sheem was a boxer. You see what I'm saying? With the other ones, he's like, well, we doing a little bit better. If you want to box, I mean, cool. But if not, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And so I think I was the I don't care. I was like Fat Boy. I'm the I don't care kid. So it's just like me, I think I just had more of a passion for it than everybody. And then because of me trying to find something to do with my son, I told you I got in trouble. So when I came back, he wanted to sit in the house and play Nintendo DS all day. And I just wasn't with that shit. So, I think I wouldn't change nothing for myself. I think I'll let it be the same. Maybe I would have fought more just to have a little bit more experience, but then maybe that would have made me closed-minded, because I'm more of an open-minded coach than certain people, because I don't have a way as much as them. And boxing, it's hard to get past imposing your will. Like that's a part of the mentality of the people involved, right? So I have more of a like be like water mentality because of my level of experience. Not my level. I've been there the whole time, but because I'm not like them, I don't look at it and say, well, I'm going to do this and you're going to take this. I look at it and say, well, it don't look like that's working, go this way. It don't look like that working, go this way. So I think maybe that helps me as a coach. So I wouldn't change nothing like that. But if I could tell any kid anything, any one of the kids, it would be, you don't have a bunch of time. I just really thoroughly disagree with that idea that because you're young, you got forever in the day. No, I mean, I'm gonna be patient with you, but you don't have forever in the day. I don't really like that idea. I think it gets in our way, especially in the black community. It get in your way that you think you can fuck up until you 21, 23, and your family don't even have financial education or literacy like that. How you got that much fucking time? That's, you know what I'm saying? But I guess that's just us being lenient, understanding what we go through coming up, right? So I don't want to all the way take the leniency away, but leaving too much leniency make people think it's like if it's a false sense of security. That's what I would call that. With me, it's case by case. It's just how I felt when I heard it. Like, you know, somebody came and tell me something, they might come tell me something Fats did. Fats is 13, right? They might come tell me something he did. I might look at it and say, well, at 13 years old, I expect some bullshit like that, right? And so I'm just going to talk to him. But if he do something that I'm like, that's some 11-year-old shit, you know? Ain't no excuse for that. Yo, let me get 100 push-ups. Like, or whatever it is, like whatever I'm on with him, I might just, whatever I'm on with him. But that's how I deal with him is like, it's case by case. You're not going to just be recurring the same stuff, the same bad decisions over and over again. If I let you do that, I feel like I'm failing you. So that's my outlook on that. I tell them that I go back to the discipline. One of my big conversations with my guys is discipline. And one of the things I always like to pull on with them is that they can go without food. They go without food to compete. If I could go without eating, it's not too much I could really go without. Like I'm going without eating so I can do something that I want to do, right? It's fasting. It's a level of fasting to that. And in that fasting brings clarity to the mind. I learned this through observing the month of Ramadan, you know what I'm saying? So I think I kind of pull on that discipline. I throw that back in their face. Like, bro, you could go without food. You mean to tell me you couldn't go without doing this? Or you mean to tell me you couldn't wait? You mean to tell me that you couldn't make a better decision than that? Like, you know, sometimes I make you sit up here and do the same thing for a half hour straight. That takes a level of mental focus. So you can't take that and apply that to, I try to make them feel bad about not, you know what I'm saying, thinking in a proper order or carrying things in a proper order more than anything, because you can't lead with iron all the time. So I'm thought-provoking in a sense that I'm going to remind you what you do, and I'm going to remind you who you are and what you're supposed to be. And then I'll have you hold yourself to that. So I think that's mainly the way I handle that concerning my kids and my program. Yeah, no problem.